Hey everyone, so we are back with the part 3.2 for the Git demonstration, and here you should importantly note what is the status of the repository. So I have removed some of the files. Okay, so we have just file 1 right now, and you should see what are the commits as well. Okay, so I have just kept one commit right now, which is file 1 added only, and it's an empty file. I haven't added anything. Okay, so in the previous demonstration, we saw about commands like git init, git add dot, and git status, git diff tool, git log as well, and git rm caged as well. So those are the commands we covered in that video. So we'll cover more commands in this particular video. Okay, so what we should do, I think we should modify file 1 and then we should make a new commit. Okay, so completely empty. Again, let me add some basic things here. Okay, so I have added 6 new lines, I think. Okay. Form and body also, then HTML. Yes, so I have added these changes in the file 1.html. Now if you do git status, it should show modified, right? Great, so it shows modified. Now again I have to stage it, I have to commit it. Okay, so yeah, so this is the normal flow as well, what we saw in the previous video. Now what difference we should create in this? So we'll look in one more command, which is notes. Okay, so as we saw what is the importance of git commit message in the previous video as well, so there must also be some kind of needs for you to put notes. Okay, you want to add some kind of notes to your commit messages so that it gives you more kind of an idea about what exact changes were done. Okay, because sometimes there are situations where commit messages can't be descriptive, but you can add some more additional information, but you have that like need for adding something more. So that's why you have the feature of, or the new command of, git notes. So in this way you can add notes to your commit and make it more descriptive. Okay, so you have to type git notes add, again -m to add the message in the terminal itself, and I can say HTML body and form tag was added. Okay, so I'm basically what elaborating on what exactly modification was done, right? So now I executed that. Now what I should do, I will let me clear first. And yeah, now if I will execute git log, you can see this was the first commit, right? We saw that, and this is your second commit. In that you can see commit messages also there, and along with that your notes are also there. So this way you are making it more descriptive by adding notes as well, right? So this is like a new kind of a new command which we are covering in this video, which is git notes. And you have to type git notes add -m to add your notes. Okay, so when you type git notes add, it will add the notes to your previous commit, right? So as we made the commit for this modification and then I executed notes, so it added it to the commit which we made. Okay, previous, the latest commit which we made. If I had written git notes add before making this file one modified commit, it would have added notes here. So be very careful, make the commit first and then add notes so that it gets added to the right place. Okay, so we covered git notes then, and I think one more command is left. We can also variation we saw about git log double hyphen stat. There's also one more variation to this is double hyphen pretty is equal to one line. So this helps when you have a lot of comments, like maybe 20 or 21 and more than that also. So you want to see them in the terminal. So each and every comment, if it gets expanded, obviously it will be very difficult for you to look. So pretty one line, it actually compresses all of your comments in one line basically. So I have just zoomed my terminal on the right side. That's why it's looking like coming on the second line. Otherwise, like every commit, one commit would be comprised or compressed into one line maximum. Okay, so this is the function which will help you if you have a lot of commits and you want to see it in the terminal window. So one line basically helps you in that. Okay, so these are variations to your git log. Then I think we can create another file again. Okay, let me do this as git touch file to HTML. Okay, so then now we created file2.html. Right, so let me also create one more thing, which is file3.html. Okay, so both the files are created now and both of these are untracked, we know that. Okay, now I will do git add dot and both of these would be in staging area. I will check that also. Yeah, both of these are in staging area. Now suppose there's a situation where you want to put your file3 in your commit before, then like you want to put your file3 before file2. So what will you do in that situation? Like what will you do? You have many alternatives obviously, but yeah, one of them is using a stash. Basically what you do is that you send these files, some of the files which you want, obviously you want, but at a later point of time, so you send them to the stash. Okay, and you make your commits, whatever you're doing that, executing all of the process, cycle goes on and all of that. And when you like have that need of wanting that file again in your directory, you bring them back from the stash and you make the commit. Okay, so suppose say you have the need only of making the like at this particular instant you want to commit only file3 and you don't want this file2. So either you can keep it as untracked, that is one of the alternatives. But to explain the concept of stash, so you can push this particular file to the stash. Okay, how you can do that? You have the command of git stash. Okay, if you do this, if you only write git stash, both these files would go to the stash. Okay, both of these files would go to the stash area. And yeah, this is how like every file in the staging area would go to stash. But if I want to push only particular file, I will use git stash push and the particular file name. In my case it's html file2.html. Before executing that, please have a close look on the left side as well what's happening. You can now see that in the working directory or the folder or directory which we are working in, file2 is now missing. File2 is not visible here. Okay, it has gone to the stash area and it is not present. How we can confirm? We have already confirmed by looking it on the left side, but we can also confirm it using git status. You can see file2 is not seen here, only file3 is here. Okay, so now as we want to commit it first, like commit it before file2, you can do that. Okay, so yeah, file3 is added. Okay, not is added, only added. And yeah, you did that. Fine, so it happened. Now you have the need of bringing that file2 again back to your working directory. What you should do, so it follows your concept of stack. So if you are familiar with stack, you have push and pop there. So what I will do is I will use get stash pop. So now you can see what happened. File2 has returned to the staging area again. Okay, I need not to bring it to staging area again. It's in staging area, return to staging area again from stash. Okay, so now what I have to do is I have to just make a commit message. File sorry, 2.2 added only. Yeah, so now if I do git log, yeah, you can see file3 was added before file2, and that is how the flow is going on, right? Okay, so this is how the concept of stash works. So you bring the files, you commit those files which you want to commit them first, and then the useless files or the files which are useless at that particular instant, you send them to the stash area, which you can also consider it as a backstage. In your school annual functions, you have a backstage where other performers are there. So that's how you send those files which are useless at that point. So you send them to the backstage area, and then you bring those files again when you have the actual use of them, when you want to actually commit them. So you bring them back to the staging area using git stash pop. Okay, so that is the concept of stash. And yeah, that is one more command you covered in this. And then you also have one more command. Okay, for that, let me do git log again. Okay, so there are two commands. Let me specify them first so that you also have to understand the difference between them. One of them is git reset, and the other one is git revert. Okay, both these commands are like kind of doing the same function, but obviously there's a difference. Okay, there's a huge difference which you should understand, and I would like you to understand with the demonstration. Okay, many of the beginners have the confusion of what is exact function of git reset and revert, but there's a huge difference which you should know. Okay, when let me clear it first, or let us select one thing. Okay, let me select this commit hash id, and let me I have copied this hash id. Okay, so what we are doing now, we are executing git revert first, and I will show you what is happening. Okay, so we have copied commit hash id of this particular commit, and what we did in this commit, we added file 3. Okay, so just remember what we did in this particular commit. We are going to revert it. We are going to write git revert and then paste the hash id. And now if I execute it, what it will do, it will only undo that particular commit. Okay, just again concentrate on this particular sentence. It will revert only that particular commit hash id, or particular commit which we have mentioned here. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are reverting the commit where we added file 3 in our case. Okay, in our example what we are executing right now. So if I execute this, you can see file 3 was removed. File 3 was removed, right? File 3 was deleted only. So it undid and it deleted. I have no access. I can't bring that file again. Okay, so it reverted. It deleted that file. And as you know, what was the flow of our working directory? We added file 2 after file 3. Okay, so file 2 is perfectly there. File 2 is already there, but file 3 was removed from between. Okay, so yeah, I think you should see and git log if you see what is there. File 3 added, we know that. File 2 added, what happened after that? It reverted file 3. Reverted this particular commit whose message was file 3 added, and reverting means undid that, and undoing means that it deleted only from that directory. Okay, and you should also note that a new commit was made for this. A new special commit was made. We didn't make this commit, it was automatically made. You reverted this particular commit, changes were reverted, like file 3 was deleted. Okay, the opposite of that happened. We added, so it reverting it deleted that file, and a new commit was added for that as well. Okay, so you saw that it reverted. So now what you should understand is the difference between git reset. Okay, how that is working different from this thing. Okay, so right, so again I have to git log. Okay, so now also we covered about one thing, which is each and every commit is built on another commit, right? That is one of the concept I told you in the previous video. So now consider an example where I want to remove this particular commit, or let's say this particular commit. I can't remove it from between. Okay, I can't remove it from between. You have to either return to a version which is like this version, which is below that. Okay, you can't remove it from between, and you can you can tell like, okay, this is the commit 1, this would be commit 2. It can't be like that. It is built on commit 1, so that's why it's connected to commit 1. Okay, so you can restore to a version, you can bring your working directory to a version like this on this commit. Okay, and then you can again commit on this. You can't directly remove it from between. Just understand that thing. Okay, that would be enough. And now let's understand what will happen if we do git reset. Okay, let me reset to this particular version, which is b7a5. Okay, so just note down what happened in this particular commit and what is happening above this commit as well. Okay, so I am copying again the hash ID of this. Okay, so you have two comments above this, which is file 2 was added after file 3 and file 3 added commit was reverted. Okay, these two changes happened after file 3 added commit. This particular commit, these two changes happened. Okay, so now let's check the command, the function of this command. So now I did this. Okay, so now whatever output came, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, understand what happened now. Okay, so now your directory is in a version which is on the commit of file 3 added. Okay, the particular commit hash ID which we have mentioned here, and all of the changes made after this. Okay, two changes were made. Basically, we also saw that in git log, which is we added file 2 and we reverted file 3 added commit. Okay, these two changes were made above this commit, right? Now we have reset our working directory to a version which is file 3 added. Okay, so what will happen to the changes we did after this? You can check git status for that, and you can see all of the changes are now in git status. They would be unstaged or they would be untracked. Okay, so file 2 was created after file 3, or we added file 2. Okay, so that's why it's untracked. You can see this change is removed now. Also, you can see the commit which was reverted, like we reverted file 3 added, which is deleting. Basically it does opposite of everything, so it deleted file 3. You can see both these things are now in kind of untracked and unstaged versions, right? And also one more thing which you should know is what happened in git log. You can see you only have commits for till file 3 added. Okay, both the commits above this which were there before, or file 2 added and reverting file 3 added, are removed now. Your directory is now in this version, particular version. You have removed the top or the other two commits which are present above this. You have removed them. Okay, if you want to again add them, so you have to again bring those changes in staging area and commit them. Okay, so this is how the difference of git revert and git reset it's actually bringing you to a version, and it's making all those changes in your staging area, right? This is the function of git reset. It will reset your directory to a version which you have specified, and it will move all the changes done above that particular version to the unstaged or untracked versions. But on the contrary, git revert, what it will do, it will undo only that particular commit modifications which you have done. Either if you have created a new file, it will delete. If you have modified something, it will unmodify that, like it will restore the previous version of that file. It will basically do the opposite function. Okay, only for that particular commit. Nothing will happen to the changes you made after that. Before that, nothing will happen. And one more thing which you saw by using git revert is that it created a new commit. Okay, when you used git reset, no new commit was made. You can see no new commit was made for your usage of git reset. Okay, only 3 commits are there. Whereas when you used git revert, a new commit was added, right? And the file was deleted from your left side as well, right? So that is what the difference of your git reset and git reverters. Both the things are different. If you have any confusion, you can again watch what happened when we executed both these commands, so as to again understand the difference. But this is the basic difference of both these commands, and you should not get confused. Okay, so now we have covered git revert, git reset, also git stash also in this video. And there's one more command which we should be very clear about, which is let me do git reflog. Basically what is the function of this command is that it will show you everything, like every commit. Okay, even though it's deleted or something, you will have a history of everything here. So that is what is the function of those commands which we covered. And now let's also clarify one of more commands. Okay, so suppose we did this and we also added this to the staging area. now you feel that okay, we have made a mess, a error in naming the file. So what you can use is you have the command of mb, and you can specify the old file name, and then you can specify the new file name. Okay, I wanted to name it as file 3, I by mistakenly named it as file 33, right? So this is the command which you can use for changing the file name. You can see before it was file 33 and now it's again file3.html, right? And now you can commit it, right? So this is one more command which you should know, which is mb. Right, so yeah, now you can check the git log as well, right? So now it shows all the comments you made, and one more command which you should know. Basically for that, let me add something more contents in your file 3 maybe. Let me add it and then commit also. Let me add html again. Let me add head tag this time. Let me also add a char tag, head tag close, and then let me keep it as html. Okay, and then let me make a commit message for that particular thing so that it's saved permanently. Okay, so we have done that modification. Okay, so yeah, now we have one more command which is get grep, and this is basically for searching purposes, right? So if you have any regex expression, if you want to implement that, you can use that here by using get grep, and it will actually search all of the things that you have mentioned, which is actually searched by your regular expressions. Or otherwise you can also type something like this, so it will list out everything which is like from H. So right, so this will help you in searching purposes. So file 1 you have HTML tag, it starts with H and all of that. So you can see what it does. It lists out all of the thing, like occurrences of all of those things starting with H, or like those who have H in it. So this is what the function of get grep is, and it will help you in searching purposes, right? It's not necessary, it's not like mandatory that you have to specify words or kind of things, words and letters. You can also include your regex expression and you can make your search efficient. Okay, so we covered about get stash, we covered about mb command, we covered about get notes, get grep, get revert, and we covered about get log and its variations. We also covered about get reset, and we also covered about get stash pop, and get reflog also is one of the commands which you should know. Git reflog is basically all your commits or all your modifications, whatever you did till now. Okay, be it reset, be it anything. Okay, so you have all of your things here. Okay, all of the things mentioned here, kind of a history, kind of a browsing history where you have everything, right? So this is like everything mentioned in a condensed form. So yeah, we covered about git reflog as well, and in your next session, which is part 4, where we jumping to GitHub, there we'll be covering more git commands, and also we'll be seeing their usage with GitHub. Okay, so basically we'll be covering about branching, merging, and all of those concepts as well. So better I'd be able to explain those concepts and those git commands with the help of GitHub as well. Okay, so thank you for watching this 3.2 part, and if you have any doubts, feel free to mention them in the comment section. Thank you.